Hi and Assalamualaikum to my respected panels, Dr. Nur Asruddin Sulaiman and Cik Nagomira Abdullah. My name is Siti Balkish binti Muhammad Rosli and today I will be presenting my proposal defense. So this will be my overview of my presentation. And this is my research title, which focuses on the relationship between athletes' imagery ability and shooting accuracy among Red Dragon Netball Club players. First, the introduction. Mental imagery refers to athlete ability to mentally rehearse skill without physically performing them. It has been shown to improve accuracy, coordination, consistency, and confidence, especially in precision-based sport like shooting. Many studies shows imagery training can improve shooting performance, but some research suggests natural imagery ability alone may not always lead to better accuracy. So, this study aims to examine whether imagery ability is related to shooting accuracy among shooters in the Red Dragon Netball Club players. For the problem statement, shooting accuracy is essential in netball because it directly affects scoring success. Mental imagery is often highlighted as important psychological skill, but research findings are mixed. Some studies show that even athletes with good imagery ability do not necessarily perform better in shooting accuracy. At the same time, most research has not focused on netball specifically, which has unique demands and pressure. So, there is still a gap in understanding whether baseline imagery ability actually influences shooting accuracy in club level players. Therefore, this study aims to investigate the relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy among players in the Red Dragon Netball Club. The purpose of this study is to examine whether athletes' imagery ability is related to their shooting accuracy among shooters from the Red Dragon Netball Club. This research also aims to determine if baseline imagery ability without any structured imagery training can predict shooting performance. The findings are expected to help coaches decide whether imagery assessment or training should be included in netball development programs. For this study, there are three main research questions. The first one, what is the level of imagery ability among Red Dragon Netball Club players? Second, what is their shooting accuracy performance? And finally, is there a significant relationship between the athlete's imagery ability and their shooting accuracy? The objective of these studies, the first one, to assess the level of imagery ability among the Red Dragon Netball Club players. Second, to determine their shooting accuracy performance. And the last one, to examine whether there is a relationship between their imagery ability and shooting accuracy. For this study, the null hypothesis states that there is no significant relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy. Meanwhile, the alternative hypothesis suggests that there is a significant relationship between the two variables. This study is important because it helps determine whether imagery ability actually plays a role in shooting accuracy among netball players. The findings can help coaches make better training decisions, especially in identifying athletes who may benefit from imagery training and including it as part of regular practice. This research also contributes to the limited literature on mental imagery in netball, as most studies focus on other sports. Finally, it benefits athletes by increasing awareness of psychological preparation alongside physical training to improve confidence, focus, and shooting consistency. This study is delimited to the Red Dragon Netball Club, so the result may not generalize to other teams or elite athletes. Only club level players are included to ensure consistency in skill and training experience, while beginners and recreational players are excluded. Imagery ability is measured using a standardized questionnaire, and shooting accuracy is assessed through a controlled shooting test, rather than in-game performance to maintain consistency. For this study has some limitation. The first one, it only includes players from one club, so the sample size is small and may not represent the wider netball population. The second one, while the focus is on shooters, some participants play multiple positions, which could affect shooting consistency. Third, the shooting tests are conducted in a controlled environment, so factors like crowd pressure or defensive opponents are not accounted for, which may reduce ecological validity. This study assumed that participants answer the imagery questionnaire honestly and understand the instruction for both the questionnaire and the shooting test. It also assumed that the control shooting test accurately reflect each athlete's true shooting ability and that all participants exert consistent effort. External conditions such as lighting and court surface are assumed to remain stable. Additionally, imagery ability is considered relatively stable during the study, and the correlation design is appropriate to examine the relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy. In this study, athletes refer to registered players of Red Dragon Netball Club who play shooting position, specifically goal shooter and goal attack. Imagery ability is the capacity to create and control vivid mental image, measured using the MIQR questionnaire. Shooting accuracy is quantified as the percentage of successful shoots during a controlled shooting test. Baseline performance represents shooting accuracy and imagery ability before any intervention. Finally, the controlled shooting test ensure consistent testing condition, minimizing factors like defense pressure, fatigue, or game intensity. This section reviews previous study related to imagery ability and shooting accuracy, which are the two main variables in my study on Red Dragon netball players. Mental imagery is recognized as a psychological skill that allows athletes to mentally rehearse movements, improving their confidence, concentration, and skill execution. In netball, shooting accuracy highly depends on visual focus, consistency of technique, and timing. Previous research shows that imagery training improves accuracy in precision-based sports such as basketball and petang. A large meta-analysis involving more than 80 studies and over 3,500 athletes that confirms that imagery significantly enhances motor skills performance. Therefore, this chapter explains the concept of mental imagery, its role in motor performance, shooting accuracy mechanism, and how imagery ability relates to shooting accuracy, providing a strong rationale for this study. Mental imagery refers to the mental process where athletes imagine performing movement without actually doing them. This involves sense such as sight, touch, and body awareness. Through imagery, athletes can improve concentration, plan their movement, and prepare themselves psychologically for performance. According to Liu 2025, imagery activates neural networks similar to real physical movement, making it an effective mental rehearsal tool. For netball shooters, imagery helps them visualize ball tracking, rehearse shooting mechanism, and build confidence, which is important for improving shooting accuracy. Mental imagery enhances motor performance through psychoneuromuscular processes, meaning the brain sends signals similar to when the movement is actually performed. This strengthens neural pathway and helps coordinate movement more effectively. Rahman and Islam 2021 found that even a short 10-minute imagery session improved basketball free throw accuracy. Imagery helps improve movement timing, consistency, and emotional control, which are all important in netball shooting, where players need stable posture, control release, and precision. Shooting accuracy refers to an athlete's ability to direct the ball accurately and consistently toward the target. This requires proper biomechanics, strong visual concentration, stable posture, and good timing control. Rahman and Islam 2021 highlighted that vision and perceptual focus play important roles in accuracy. In netball, shooting is crucial because match outcome depends heavily on goal shooters and goal attack, converting scoring opportunities. Therefore, repetition, proper technique, and strong mental preparation are essential. Many studies show a strong positive relationship between imagery and shooting performance. Rahman and Islam 2021 found significant improvement in basketball free throw accuracy after imagery training. Ramadan also reported that imagery combined with concentration training produced the highest accuracy improvements, while Ronnie found similar benefits in petang shooting. The meta-analysis by Liu 2025 further supports that imagery enhances accuracy, timing, and coordination. Therefore, it is reasonable to predict that netball players with higher imagery ability are likely to show higher shooting accuracy, especially among Red Dragon players. This conceptual framework demonstrates the expected relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy among Red Dragon netball players. Imagery ability acts as the independent variable and is measured using a standardized imagery questionnaire. Shooting accuracy acts as the dependent variable and is assessed through a controlled shooting test. Based on past research, it is expected that players with higher imagery ability will demonstrate higher shooting accuracy. This study applies a quantitative correlation research designed to examine the relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy among Red Dragon netball players. This study focused specifically on goal shooter and goal attack players as they are responsible for scoring. Sampling is conducted using purposive or convenient sampling. The required sample size is determined using G-power based on alpha of 0.05 and statistically power of 0.80 to ensure sufficient statistical strength. For this study, and a priori power analysis was conducted using G-power. I used a one-way fixed effect ANOVA with 3 groups with the effect size from previous related research set as f5.13. The significant level was set at 0.05 and the desired statistical power was 0.80. Based on this setting, G-power indicate that a minimum of 6 participants is required in total, which is about 2 participants per group to detect a statistically significant effect. The analysis also showed a critical F value of 9.55 with numerator and denominator degrees of freedom of 2 and 3. The achieved power was 0.999, meaning the study has a very high probability of detecting the expected effect. This study used 2 main instruments. Imagery ability is measured using standardized questionnaires such as the Movement Imagery Questionnaire, revised which assesses vividness, controllability, and ease of mental rehearsal. Higher scores indicate stronger imagery ability. Shooting accuracy is measured using a controlled shooting test where players attempt a fixed number of shoots from standard positions and their accuracy is calculated based on percentage of successful shots. For the procedure of this study, permission was first obtained from the Red Dragon Netball Club and ethical consideration were ensured. Then, goal shooter and goal attack players were recruited, briefed, and consent was collected. Players first complete a standardized imagery ability questionnaire. After that, they perform a controlled shooting accuracy test under standardized conditions. All data were recorded and stored securely before being entered into SPSS for analysis. Data will be analyzed using SPSS. Descriptive statistics will be used to summarize participant characteristics and key variables. Person correlation analysis will be used to examine the relationship between imagery ability and shooting accuracy. The significant level is set at 0.05. The sample size used to supported by G-power analysis to ensure sufficient statistical power of 0.80. So, that's all from my proposal defense. Thank you so much and Assalamualaikum.